Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wild Thoughts Pod. I'm your co-host Afi.
And I'm your co-host Kat.
Woo! And as usual, we're back on a Wednesday. And today
Happy hump day.
Oh, is that what Wednesday is?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Why? No.
I don't know. But it's called hump day, so
okay. I know Kathy has said this before, but I'm always like, okay, yeah. I don't know why. But okay. Anyways, today we're talking about how to recharge your social battery. I know it's much needed. So we're gonna go into all of that. And we learned a lot about it. I did. I'm sure Kathy did too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we shall
I was like, that's it? Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Okay,
because I feel like I rant too much sometimes, and I'm trying to keep it concise.
Okay. Okay, so let's get into the question of the week. Yes. So the question of the week was, what do you like to do to recharge your social battery? So we just got right to it. So we got a few responses. So not really a tip, but at parties pre-COVID, obviously, I usually get tired of talking and go hang out with the pet. That's a good way to get away from stuff.
It's
and
like, yeah.
Get your alone time.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
Yeah. So someone said read, which is good. Watch some TV alone or clean, meditate, yoga, bake bread or cookies. I love that. Ooh. Watch pantry and closet organization videos. I love that. I love watching those.
It. I never do it myself. I just watch.
I do it.
I do it later on,
I recorded
but not in
a video on this and I'm editing it. So it's
really? Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I love watching those.
It was so satisfying. Really, okay, curl up in a blanket, burrito, and watch trash reality TV shows. That's a mood.
That's a good, yeah.
And lastly, I decompress with video games or watching YouTube or TV show series. That's good. Okay, so there's a common theme here where it's all like alone time with yourself.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay, well, just to when I was doing research, basically what I found was that, yeah, like a lot of people are talking about being alone. And that's what I thought too, because I was looking at myself personally, like, what do I like to do to just decompress and just ground myself? And it's like a lot of things alone, like kind of get away from people and just be by myself. Mm-hmm. But then we realized that that suits different types of personalities. So I guess if you're more of an introvert or you have introverted characteristics or like a combination of intra and extrovert, but extroverts have a different way, I guess, of recharging their social battery. And we'll get into that through the episode. But yeah, I just want to mention that.
Okay, cool. So let's firstly just discuss a bit about what your social battery is, because some people might not get it, but it's often connected to like your anxiety or exhaustion after you've been socializing or being with people for too long. So like if you're overexerting yourself because let's say you don't want to feel left out, you have a fear of missing out, or you don't want to let down your friends if you're hanging out with them.
Yeah.
My voice right now. But you're basically,
we love that little.
Hold on, it's the morning.
The Brooke Davis is coming out.
My queen.
I love her voice.
Oh my god, I love raspy voices. Okay, hold on. But basically, what you're doing is you're overexerting yourself and you're sacrificing your own mental and sometimes physical health because you're depleting your social battery, and it's causing you to be super exhausted and like mentally drained and all that, just because you're doing too much and you're not listening to your body.
Yeah, exactly. And something that I realized too when I was like looking into it, like the difference between like introverts and extroverts, like for example, introverts, the reason why their energy depletes when they're spending time with a lot of people is because they focus a lot on the internal, so like sounds, and like they're very much in their heads a lot of the times. So they're already exerting energy on that. So it takes a lot out of them to like focus and like be in the present moment because there's so much like internally looking into things. I wrote it down somewhere specifically, but it's something about like internal and just like being in your head a lot. Whereas extroverts, they kind of energize off their environments. So that's why they're into like more social settings because they look externally like it was something about that, but
well, it makes
yeah.
sense, right? Because if you're extroverted, you need to be around people and you need to like keep talking and stuff. But extroverts can also have their social battery be
Get
depleted in different
exhausted.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, like doesn't mean that extroverts want to constantly socialize, because that's what I put in my notes as well, is that they can also be exhausted by socializing. I guess it depends what part of the scale you're on in terms of like how much extrovertedness and introvertedness you have. So it's a bit complicated, but I think it's just to like know yourself and know what you can tolerate and what you can't.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say a mini disclaimer before we continue, because Afi, the Wi-Fi right now is not great. So like
Is it
Afi's
bugging?
voice, yeah, your voice is like not matching your movements because you're glitching,
No.
but I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or yours. So
No.
just disclaimer to those that are watching the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We're on Zoom.
I hope it gets better. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi things.
Yeah.
So basically, I had read somewhere like basically for extroverts, how it works is that when they begin their day, their social battery is at 0. That's how someone had explained it. And it needs to be charged. So they would charge it by like interacting with people and not staying away from people. Whereas it would be the opposite technically for introverts. They would start with 100% battery. And as they like, start talking to people or like being around people, it kind of goes down, which makes sense, right?
Yeah, that's actually super interesting. Like I didn't even think about that. Like even when I was doing my own research, I was more focused on introverts without even thinking. But that's super interesting.
Exactly. Because I was thinking about like, oh, if you're exhausted, like your social battery, you need to recharge. That means you want to stay away from people. But I guess it depends what type of personality you have.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was browsing through your notes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I saw something that I think you should mention now, but I'll mention it for you because I'm right here.
Go ahead.
But basically, Afi wrote down that extroverts get drained when they're in unpleasant situations or like with someone that they don't vibe with and stuff like that. So like that's how their social battery gets depleted, because they're like, okay, this person in particular, this situation is exhausting me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I need to get out of it. I need to like go to some place more positive and more my own zone.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also like extroverts too, it's not that they constantly energize off of like talking in itself. It's just like being in a big crowd of people in environments where there's a lot of people. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm energizing because I'm constantly like blah 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 with everyone. It's not that, because that can be exhausting for anyone, I think. But it's just like you get energy from just being in crowds, whereas a very introverted person would maybe get anxious about that and like need to take a moment away from that, you know?
Yeah, actually, I wrote as one of my points where one way that you can recharge your social battery is to hang out with friends, but in silence.
Oh,
like when you have friends that you're comfortable enough to be in silence with, and like you're doing your own thing, like those moments sometimes you're hanging out with your friends and you're kind of like you're all exhausted because you've been talking for so much, so you're all on your phone and you start doing your own thing. Or even if you're doing like Zoom hangouts, like a lot of the time you're doing something else at the same time. So that can be a way for extroverts, I find, to like recharge, because if they need a break, but they're still surrounded by people that they hang out with. So
yeah, exactly. And I find that's so good too, because like sometimes, when you're all silent and let's say you're not super like you're close to that person, but it could just be awkward, but that's exhausting in itself. It's like,
because then you're overthinking
tension.
You're like, there's tension here, do they feel it? Like
exactly. Am I supposed to say something? Do I start small talk?
Exactly.
So apparently introverts, like if you're looking on like complete introverts, don't like small talk. I don't really like small talk either.
I hate small talk.
Yeah. So
like,
which that makes sense.
Point.
Exactly. But that makes sense, because that means like they're exerting energy into like meaningless conversation, which is like just keeping up with that is exhausting.
Yeah. So, you're like dragging on a conversation when like we both know either I need something for you or you need something for me. So let's just get to it.
Yeah, exactly. Which, me too. Like I was still confused about whether personally I'm an introvert or extrovert, because all my life I thought I was an extrovert. Then I started doing a random ass quiz. This is sorry, side note. I was like, okay, let me figure out what I am. And then, but then it also goes into the 16 personalities. Remember we did that? Everything's linking.
It's
and
connected.
Then and then I started looking into it, and apparently like because I guess I don't know which personalities, but I guess a part of those personalities are extroverted personalities, and then the other part are intra. But then, like, depending on the letters, it's like there's some extroverted that are the most introverted of the extroverted. And I was like, whoa.
Okay. Yeah. If I'm remembering mine, I'm ENTJ, which is extrovert.
Oh, let me go.
But I think I'm an introverted extrovert. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I'm more on the introvert side because I like to do things on my own and I like to be in my own space. But when I get with people, I will not stop talking. Like if I'm comfortable with you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's I know. I get what you're saying. But that's why. So when I went to look up mine quickly because I know I got the result. And then I saw that apparently, I mean, it could change, but apparently I'm an extroverted, like an extrovert, but more I'm the introverted
exactly.
part of that.
So I'm more on the introverted side, but I'm still a little extroverted, and you're more on the extroverted, but you still like some introvert time.
Exactly. Oh my God. It's so interesting because you always thought it was like black and white, but it's not. There's so many things you need to like
there's a scale to everything.
But someone had described extroverts as like dopamine junkies. Like I saw this somewhere, but I guess that has to do with like the chemicals in your brain, which I don't know anything about.
Well, I think it's because like they get energized by other people.
Yeah, exactly. But then someone else had described it differently, where it's like not necessarily like you're not energizing off of others, but I don't remember what he had said. But I just have a lot of how about I mention maybe like one way, since Kathy did one about introverts, but like if you're a full extrovert and obviously like you know yourself, so you know what would work. But one way that you could recharge your energy is maybe even like someone had mentioned like social work or volunteering. So for example, you know, like socializing, going to events is fun, but like sometimes it doesn't always work. Like if you want to schedule something weekly and be able to recharge your energy. So if you volunteer somewhere, you know, you're meeting different people, you're helping a good cause, so you're feeling good about yourself and you're impacting others positively. So I feel like that could help you recharge your battery, because like I said, you're meeting someone, it could happen regularly, and you're just like, you have like a greater purpose, I guess. And I feel like introverts like that too. So having
that's see, like I just find it super interesting because like it's hard to tell an extrovert, okay, go do something alone, because obviously they like to do things when they're around people. So like it's cool that one way that they can recharge is just to like do something that has meaning also. To, like go volunteer or go work with, you know, just work
organizations. Exactly. Because super it's like sometimes your friends can't always go with you, or they don't want to go hang out with you 24/7 either, you know? So I feel that's an interesting and more creative way where like you can meet people that you don't know already and that are kind of like not forced to be there, but also want to be there at the same time.
Okay, so okay, I'll do like the introvert
again. And I guess I'll do the extrovert.
So on the introverted side, when I was doing research, a lot of the stuff that was popping up is obviously do something alone that you love. So you can like cook, you can clean, draw, paint, knit, read, like everything that people mentioned here, do some yoga, like stuff like that. But it's because when you're overexerting yourself and like socializing so much that you're exhausted after, you need to do something that you love and be selfish with your own time so you can distract yourself from the situation that just happened. And kind of like just zone in on your own self, focus on what you're doing, and like just when you're focusing that much, you're like also relaxing yourself because you're doing something that you love. So it's not like you're like stressed about it, or like again, this connected to like your anxiety being induced by a high social interaction. So like a lot of the times it's just going to help you like calm down, be more zen, and just like do what you like, you know?
Exactly. No, that's so true. And also something I was reading about introverts is that the reason why doing something alone can like recharge your batteries because they like introverts usually like to be in control of things and their situation and their environment. So exactly. So when you're with a lot of people in a gathering, you can't control everything and like your mind is going everywhere. So when you're doing something alone, like cooking, cleaning, you're the only one in that room, in that space, so you can control it, you can control how you're going to feel, you know what you're doing. So that makes sense though, because
that's
like
a really
nobody
good point.
like nobody can interfere with you, so it stresses you, it stresses it. No, not that it stresses, it de-stresses you. Exactly. I can't speak today. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's okay.
Oh my God. But yeah, but something else that I think for extrovert, or if you have a mix, meeting friends and family regularly. So I think I can relate to this sometimes, especially like in the times that we're at. Sometimes it becomes lonely. So like if you schedule a time, like I think sometimes us too, we did that in the summer, you know, we were like, oh, let's go for dinner once a week or once a month, or just to like catch up and like socializing is human nature, so it's normal that you want to like interact with others. But if you're an extrovert, one way to keep your battery recharged regularly is like scheduling, whether it be online or in person. Like once a week you hang out with your friends, you do like Zoom activities or games online, or you go out to a cafe, or you go to eat. So that way you're making sure that you're never gonna like, your battery's not gonna deplete, and you're gonna be, I guess, like feeling lonely if you're an extrovert, and you're energizing off of your friends because you're seeing them regularly. So then you won't get into like a mood where maybe you're upset or sad, or you know, you de-energize.
No, that's a good tip. And like for our extroverted side, it's like even during the week I find I'm home, especially now, like because we're like kind of on a lockdown but not really, like stuff like that. And like I'm fine being home because I'm doing stuff that I love and like doing alone time stuff. But I do miss like going out with friends or my boyfriend and like doing something different than the routine, and just like being able to like talk about things. Because also I hate texting now. Like I really realize I cannot text. Like if a whole conversation, I can't do that. I don't know how you people are like dating now, because like,
oh my God,
I barely talk to my boyfriend unless it's in person. So
no, I feel you. Like I hate texting.
That's
I
why.
wish,
So that's why like I need the social in person aspect. So it's like good that like that's a good tip to plan either every week or every month, every couple of weeks, just to like meet up. Doesn't have to be something like that you have to pay for either, like just to meet up at a friend's house. Like
exactly. And also into this point, sorry, I forgot, but like you see, I realize I used to do this sometimes, but like for example, if you're doing a task as an extrovert that you really don't want to do, or like work or something, sometimes maybe you can have, you know, your friend tag along, like if you have to run errands, so that way like it energizes you. And like for example, even like study dates, you know, studying is not always fun. And I remember we used to like go study together, or like with some other friends, and like go to cafes, and that would help make the task easier and give me energy to like actually study. So like if you want to make work more enjoyable, you know, see if you could go with a friend. Even one friend is enough. So
yeah, I like that.
That friend is willing, but yes.
If they're willing. My next point is kind of for everyone, not just introverts, not just extroverts, but it's obviously to exercise. And like, even if you're not into like cardio or weightlifting or like any other like more strenuous activities, like even doing a yoga exercise, stretching for 10 minutes, like just going for a walk, like anything to move your body and just like practice being mindful and living in the moment, instead of like you said, introverts a lot of the times they're like internally thinking about a lot of things when they're at these social events, or like they're getting exhausted that way, or extroverts just need a break from it. So it's good to just like work your body and just focus on also working your mind.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And if you don't want to do it alone, for extroverts, go to the gym with a friend, do yoga with a friend. It's so much more fun sometimes when you do it with a friend, depending on what you like. But it doesn't, you know, if you're scared of being alone, or you haven't seen anyone that week, but you want to stay in shape, go with, you know what I would do a lot during the pandemic? Go with a walk with a friend. because there was only so many times I could go for a walk alone. Like it gets boring after a while for me.
I can't, honestly, I'm not motivated to exercise on my own. So either I'm like working out with my mom or working out with a friend, like just doing something with someone, because obviously also I need that extra motivation to be able to do it. But yeah, you also get the social aspect.
We love it. Wow. You can just add a friend to anything if you don't want to do it alone.
Plus one.
Yeah. But like obviously I think there's limit. I mean, I wonder if there's people out there that are like fully an extrovert, like on the scale, like on the opposite end.
I think for sure. Really? Because there's like extreme introverts also.
Yeah, true. So there's that. Okay, so then you really don't like being alone. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like those people that like, they're like, oh, I can never live alone. I can never like well, I say that, but I'm also an introvert. Yeah. But like, they're just like, I can't be alone. You know?
Okay. Yeah, I get it. That's interesting. Wow. I didn't know intra and extra, like I didn't know that had such a big impact on the way that we are. But I guess
honestly, same.
Okay, well, this is kind of like the obvious one for extroverts, is just like going to social gatherings or like big events, like if a concert or you know, here we have like picnic or ilsanik, whatever, the like the ravers or what, the festivals, exactly, or Oshiaga, like anything like that where there's like a lot of people involved. Like I said, you don't have to be, as an extrovert, you don't have to be like talking or mingling to get energy, just being in those crowds. Apparently extroverts like not being the center of attention, but I guess like, for example, if you're in a restaurant and they seat you in the middle, you'll be fine. But apparently introverts, they don't like the attention on them in general.
Oh my god, so they I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's what I read. Apparently, oh my god, they don't like attention on them in general. Obviously, I'm generalizing. So like they wouldn't want to be seated in the middle where everyone's watching them, because they'd be thinking about it, and like, it might give you anxiety where like everyone's around you. Whereas an extrovert would love that. They love the attention and just being in the middle, or they'd embrace it. I don't know. But so just going to events and like social gatherings, parties, things like that, and being in like large groups of people can just like put you in a good mood and energize you. So do that if you can. I know the pandemic is hard. Maybe have a Zoom party. I don't know. Like have a Zoom party.
Oh my god, they made a Zoom graduation. No. Did you ever see that? They made a Zoom graduation at Concordia. And like people went, and I saw some of the stories and people were just like, had their cameras on like this. There was a DJ on one, like someone was actually DJing. Like it was like, this is so weird.
Wait, did you go?
No. I saw people posting like stories on Instagram of it.
Oh, but you're getting an in-person one as well, no?
Yeah, they scheduled an in-person one. They canceled the January one, obviously, but I booked for February, and they're like, as of right now, we're keeping it, but if things change, we'll email you. I think things are going to change. Like, because I don't know how they're going to have a graduation.
I think it will change because, like, for example, we were supposed to go back to class like January 20th, but now it's pushed to February 2nd. So if we're not going back to like, it's not gonna happen.
And they're doing the grad for like 2020 and 2021 grads. And now like we're in 2022, like you're graduating this year. Like it's, how are they going to keep pushing it? Like there's going to be 3 classes worth.
Oh my god, that's long. I low-key don't like, I want to go because it's like a cool moment, but like I don't want to go because it's like
no, I know. Like I booked it and I'm excited just because I'm like, okay, this is not the last grad that I'm gonna have because I want to do my MBA, but like this is like the most important one, I find. Yeah. And like it's kind of sad that we're not getting that experience, but at the same time, I'm like, I graduated over a year ago.
Yeah, so like, you're kind of like, okay,
one of our friends that graduated I think 1 semester before us, she's like, I'm not going. I'm like, I just want the experience, but I don't feel like going.
Like I feel like I'll feel FOMO if I don't go, because I'm like, it's the one time I'm gonna
exactly.
Like, I don't know when I'm gonna be back, but then also I feel like it's gonna make me feel bad about myself, because I'm gonna be like, wow, everyone did what I did anyway, like why am I'm not special.
I feel like I'm just like, I'm old now, you know what I mean? Like I've like, done it. I graduated over a year ago, and I'm like, I'm back just for this. Like I feels like
it would have been nice. Yeah, it would have been nice if it was like at least within the month of you like finishing your classes, or like
within the year.
Like at least minimum. Oh my
god,
I
graduated in 2020.
Like that's crazy. Like 2 years later. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyways, let's get back.
Let's come back. Yeah, let's get back to the.
Okay, so actually, speaking of that, one of my tips, if honestly, I think this could work for anyone. I don't think you need to be an introvert, but basically just blast music and dance. Which is like, some people are gonna be like, why would I do that? But like, dude, when I'm blasting any type of music and dancing and singing along to it, I am energized a la max.
Like, a la max. Yes.
Dude, I get so hyped. It's so liberating. You just feel free. You're just like, obviously, like if you're introverted, you're not gonna want to do it around people. Like,
true.
So do it at home. Do it in front of your mirror, like check yourself out, like get hyped from it, you know, like,
and you put the right song, like put a song that you just know is your song. It's gonna get you in that mood. The other, like, once I remember anecdote, I don't know why I never felt the urge to put this song, but I'm walking on sunshine and I started just jamming in my room. It just put me in the best mood. I've never had the urge to, like, that's not even in my library.
That's really like, not your type of music.
but you know, like everyone know, like you see it in movies, you hear it all the time, like, and I just felt like walking on sunshine.
I really love that for you.
It was great. It was very happy. But like, remember when you went to the chalet, like what, a year, 2 years ago, and we just like, that was fun though.
Literally had a dance break for like 3 hours.
That was fun. Yeah,
my hips were finished.
We were into it, like into it.
Sometimes you just gotta dance. Even if you're not good at it, even if you think you're not good at it, just dance. I'm not good at dancing.
Yeah, when you're alone in your room, who cares? There you go.
That's when you test out how to dance.
Yes, that's when you practice your work in the mirror. Oh my God. Yes, that's the perfect time. Just let yourself go. Exactly. But no, I agree. That is very fun. And you can do it with your friends too. Do it alone, however you want.
Exactly. Big mood booster.
Yeah, there you go. Or put like a YouTube video of people dancing in your room, and then you'll feel like there's people.
Party.
Hey, party for real. Well, okay, these ones I think they're similar to what like Kathy had mentioned, but I wrote down like general energy takers. So just whether you're intro or extrovert, like it doesn't matter. But like Kathy had kind of mentioned already, but people. So like, just because extroverts like being around people, it still depends what type of person they're around. Like if they're negative and toxic, then that'll be an energy drainer for anybody, you know? So make sure you're with people that like you get along with and that you actually enjoy being around with, and not like toxic people. And then apparently work too can be an energy taker for sure. I think like, especially now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's for anybody. I'm sure extroverts, just because you're around people doesn't mean like you're going to be enjoying work 24/7. So just like balancing work life and your personal life, like not burning out, knowing when to take breaks. And then like, especially now working from home because of the pandemic and stuff, I feel like it's tough, like staying motivated at home and having like a healthy work schedule, because you're always available almost because you're at home and you don't know when to like turn on and off, you know? So I think it's good to have like a time that you know that, okay, I'm not doing, you know, any work related things, and this is really like my downtime. And like we had mentioned before, Kathy too had said, like if you have a separate room you could work in, that's really good, and that can kind of create more of a balance. But just like don't overwork yourself and try to have like a healthy relationship with work. But but then sorry, Kathy, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say like work is a big thing on draining energy. And like, I love the people I work with. I literally love going to work just so I can talk with them. But after a work day, when I get home, I am so drained just because I was talking all day. And I'm not used to talking all day because we're also working from home. So like, it's good to schedule in again the alone time, or like time that's going to make you happy after work, and like really focus on yourself because of it, because then like you're just going to burn out just by being exhausted mentally from the constant talking and the constant being around people, and just, you know.
Exactly. And like even being on screens and monitors, like, you know, that can just be a lot, like just technology too. I don't know if we mentioned it, but like I think we
You
were gonna
know,
mention it.
yeah, I'm gonna mention something related to it, but I saw on the news
On the
that
look at us watching the news.
I watch the news when I'm just like around my parents and they're watching
I
it,
love
but
it.
they were saying how like I know blue light affects you and
Yeah.
it affects something in your brain, but apparently it affects the part of your brain that the blue light can
Mhm.
physically drain you,
Oh,
but
like
it
make you
keeps you
tired.
awake. You know what I mean? Like it de-energizes
Oh,
you, but you not to the point where you're like, okay, I can sleep now. Like it doesn't soothe you. It like causes your brain
oh,
to like
but you're
glitch
exhausted
basically.
because of the fact that it's keeping you awake, type of
It's
thing.
I don't know how to explain it, but it like causes like your brain to basically glitch because it doesn't know what should be happening.
Oh,
So that's why like they say like turn on the night light, the
yeah, yeah,
yellow
yeah,
tint and everything,
yeah,
because like staring, especially like if you're working from home, so you're working
yeah,
from a computer, then you're going on your bed, you're looking on your phone, like it's
yeah.
like a lot of blue light. So
Yo,
it drains you,
yes.
but not in a relaxing way.
Exactly. Okay, no, I get what you're saying. It's not gonna drain you where you're tired. Like
Yeah.
you're tired, but not to like sleep
Yeah,
tired.
you're like, ugh, I
You're
don't feel like
turned
doing
on, but you don't
anything. You're
want
like
to be turned.
mush,
Okay, yeah,
you know?
I get what you're saying. Okay, but that's sorry, side note, but like this happens to me, like literally happened to me yesterday, but like I'll be on my laptop and suddenly, like I don't know if it's when the sun starts to go down or my room gets a bit darker and my laptop is bright, but
Mm-hmm.
like my eyes feel a little
Yeah.
strained. But I turn on the light and it's I think it's when I'm staring at my laptop a lot and I look back up like to the wall or
Yeah.
whatever. And it like creates that because there's like that
It's
difference in lighting. I don't know. But
yeah, it's also if I don't know who told me this, but like when I used to study, if I was looking at my notes for too long, I would force
mm,
my eyes to look at the farthest corner in my room just to
yeah.
readjust to something because
Yeah.
apparently that helps with like your eyes being
Oh,
strained
okay,
and stuff.
good.
So like that's I don't know. I don't know if it
Should I
actually
wear
helps, but
something?
someone
Like, am I supposed to?
oh, you should wear blue light glasses, that's for sure. Like
For
sometimes
real?
I
I don't
forget to
have.
put
I've
I
never.
forget I got them from Amazon,
Oh
just
my
super cheap.
God. And they
I,
actually, you see the difference? Like it doesn't
I
strain
do,
your
but
eyes?
also because I don't wear glasses usually, I feel like sometimes my eyes like they know that there's a blockage in front of them,
Okay.
and then I'm like I can't keep them on all day. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah, yeah,
need
yeah,
to
yeah.
take a
But
break from
like,
it.
but don't we have settings for that on our computer? Like, for example, the
Yeah, but I
nighttime,
can't look at a yellow screen. Like I just need also like if I'm doing like let's say content creation and I'm editing pictures, I need the
yeah.
blue light because I need to see how it's gonna look on other people's
Yeah.
stuff,
True,
right?
true, true,
So
true,
it's
true.
like I'm like looking my eyes wide at everything and then it's not
Mm.
helping.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get blue light glasses to keep your
Yeah.
energy to
Literally.
100%.
Turn on your
Um,
night shift at night.
Yeah, I always do that. Like my computer, it doesn't automatically do it. It's so annoying. So I have to
You
do
can't
it. And
schedule it.
I think I could, but I'm just like, I just haven't done it. But because my phone, it does it automatically, but I
Mhm.
never set it up. Like it just does it.
Or
I never schedule,
you
or
probably
maybe I
press the
did and I
button
don't
once.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's yeah, my computer, I love when it's on that yellow like light all the time. I don't even in the
Yeah.
day I prefer it yellow, but I don't do it during the day. But at night it just feels like your eyes just like discovered something new, but it's great.
Yeah. They're soothed.
Um, but yeah, exactly. They feel less strained. But yeah, my third point though, moving on from the work point, was about I thought this was interesting, but like self-beliefs. So basically like negative self-talk and like how you're talking to yourself in your brain. So in general, like whether you're an overthinker or not, like a lot of times we'll be talking to ourselves in our head, but it
Mhm.
won't be good. So I feel like just saying positive. I think that we've said this many times, but just being
Yeah.
positive and like being aware of how you're talking to yourself can be a big like energy saver or taker,
Mhm.
however you want to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just like I don't know, give yourself some positive words in the morning, at night, whenever
Yeah.
you can.
That's very true because also if you're in a social setting and you're like kind of
Yeah.
comparing yourself to others and in your
True.
mind you're like thinking like oh this I wish I looked like this, I wish I was funny like
Yeah,
this, then obviously it's going to drain your energy because then you're going to start
exactly.
being so negative, you're not going to really want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So That's a good thing. Like try to catch yourself before you start spiraling into those thoughts.
Right, exactly. And comparison doesn't discriminate. It happens to extroverts and introverts. So
exactly.
I think it's a good tip for like anyone. And I think we're so used to doing it that we don't even like realize, like you're just like, oh, do I do that? And then
it's like
you start thinking, yeah, exactly. So which is kind of sad, but it's fine.
Yeah. So my next tip that kind of is related to that, social media breaks. We say this a lot, but first of all, like because we're a generation that's always on our phone, it's like automatic that we're looking at our phone or scrolling through social media every waking moment. So like, first, we can start comparing ourselves because of it. Second, we're socializing, like we're on different networking apps and like where we're constantly socializing, we're constantly like doing an interaction with something that obviously can be super draining if we're just doing that over and over and over. So like, first of all, put that shit on do not disturb. Block those texts from coming in. Don't need to talk to people. You don't need an immediate answer from people. You don't need to answer right away. Like just put that shit on do not disturb. Let it be. Take a break, and then refer to my first point where it's do things alone and do physical things, and that's not on a screen. Like read a book, draw, cook, clean, like stuff like that. Just like get away from a screen altogether, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And like we did an episode on this, but just like it allows you to be in the present moment. Like when you're on social media, you're not being present, you're not like taking in what's around you, you know, you're more like being distracted, which is nice sometimes, right? Like it energizes you sometimes because, you know, you see people laughing, whatever, there's like entertaining videos, so that's fun, but like not 24/7, because like I feel like sometimes I forget what reality is. Like I'm on social media so much and I like look up and I'm like, oh shit, I'm still in bed and like I woke up like 3 hours ago, you know what I mean? So it's like,
and it also, I feel like it's an automatic replacement every time you're bored, but like there's so many things that you can do that doesn't involve looking at a screen. You just have to actually take the time to do it and like find out what you like to do.
Exactly. I think it's like with social media, it's because you have that instant like your like brain is instantly stimulated or like that gratification. I don't know. You just get like, you know, you just get it really quick, especially with like TikTok nowadays, which is like in 60 seconds, you have a whole video of like content. Whereas, like if you're doing painting or something alone, you have to, there's a whole process behind, like, it's not just, okay, now I'm like, it's beautiful and I'm enjoying it so much. You have to go through like doing it and like being more, I guess, active and like interactive with it. So
exactly. So like just fill your time with other things. And like I find that a lot of the time on the weekends I'm not really looking at my phone just because I'm doing other stuff. Like even if I'm watching TV or like looking at a different screen, I'm not on my phone as much because I'm scheduling my time with other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like,
that's good. Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes, watching TV is not good still, but like I'm not 5 centimeters away from my face.
You're enjoying art. Film,
exactly.
TV,
you're enjoying art.
You're enjoying art. I love films.
Yeah.
I love movies. Literally for my prof, because we have to do like, you know, sometimes profs ask for like get to know you and you fill out the thing, which is like nice, you know, I don't mind, whatever. And then at one point he was like, what are your hobbies and activities? Like, and I was like, what hobbies do I have? Oh shit, I should have said a podcast. I didn't think of that. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Anyways,
promoted.
I should have said it, but I wrote, oh, I love watching film and TV, and I try to make it into like something like cool, but I was like, yeah, I just love benching Netflix, so I don't know how to put it in that healthy way.
Everyone does that.
Yeah, exactly, but it's fine, don't worry. But but I feel like if you're watching TV, like maybe you're like it's time on your own where you're not distracted by multiple things. You're like, because even TV, you try to escape from it sometimes. Like I'll be on my phone while I'm watching TV. Yeah. And that's so weird.
Which when is you like, think about for it. What? Yeah.
Exactly.
You're like watching a TikTok while the TV is on. Like
exactly. And it's like, my dad does that too, I noticed. I'm like,
my dad also does that on his iPad.
Like, yo, me too. He has his iPad, the news on.
Yeah.
He's
I'm like, how do you even hear anything? Like,
oh my God, it's so funny. I thought that was interesting, but just like, why do we feel socially drained? And I think Kathy already kind of went through it, but like, just you're putting a lot of effort into like creating like social and interactive environments. So that can drain you. And apparently like this is what it said when I did my research, but like sometimes if you're the only one putting in the efforts into like the gatherings or events or things like that, it could be draining. And if your friends are not equally like participating, it creates like
You
that
know what?
imbalance. Yeah.
That's a really good point, because I've felt that in some situations where like I
Yeah.
was like uber excited about something. I was like hyper excited. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is gonna be so fun. And then
Yeah.
like some friends show up and they're so like their energy is like drained already, and they show
Yeah.
up and I'm like, okay, like that kind of depletes my energy
Exactly.
too.
Basically, yeah. So that's what I want to say, but I said it like Kathy said it perfectly, but just like someone had said, maybe you don't have like good friends, get new friends. But I mean, it doesn't have to be like that harsh, but I think
Mhm.
like everyone participating equally will just allow you to like contain your energy more.
Mhm.
And if you're excited about something and people aren't, like Kathy said, then that like de-energizes you because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like
And
my
I
friends are
think,
here, but the
yeah,
energy's not on point.
exactly. And I think we said it in one of our previous episodes where like if you're already in a mood, don't show up. Like
Yes,
because like it's gonna affect everyone there. And like I
exactly.
know a lot of the times like you're like, okay, I can't not show up because it's gonna be rude, or like I haven't shown up lately, so let me go.
Yeah,
But like if you're, even if you're in that situation and you're forcing yourself to go, no, but I'm saying like even if you have to go, like you
yeah,
can't not go, let's say,
yeah. Okay, just be
and
in a
your
better mood.
energy is drained, like just either like don't make it known, you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
don't
or like,
overly like, don't be dramatic about it.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, yes, you can feel some type of way, but there's a way of talking about it where it's
Yeah.
not like super negative or like that it doesn't like you're not blaming it on others. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Like
you're
I've
not
been,
like,
yeah, like I've been in situations where like, okay, I don't want to be here either, but
yeah,
I'm
being
trying
in a
to like
good,
talk to people and still like put a smile on my face. But then there's other people that are literally like, you know, that they don't want to be there.
want to be there,
And
which
I'm
is
like,
just like,
you're making it hard for everyone here to have a good
yeah.
time,
No, no, no,
you
exactly. No,
know?
I feel you. Yeah, no, that happens a lot. And I feel like that goes into like what we were talking about. Like people are draining for whether you're introvert, extrovert,
Yeah.
like we said, like extroverts love people, but and introverts do too, but
Mhm.
to a certain extent, I guess. But it depends what type of people. They don't want to be around crappy people or people are in a crappy mood. You want to be around people that are feeling good emotions like you and like want to hang out and do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I think that's super important.
So my last point basically was to don't force yourself to be in a situation if you're already feeling drained, or if you know that
Yeah.
your energy's getting drained, don't force yourself to stay. Like a lot of the times people like either show up because they feel like they have an obligation, or like they're there already and everyone's having a good time, but like they're not feeling it as much, then
Yeah,
don't stay. Go home, because
exactly.
first, like I said, everyone's going to feel your energy shift or your energy is off. And
Yeah.
because of that, no one's going to have a good time, because they're going to be
Yeah.
thinking, like, okay, how do I make them have a good time? They're going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, like they're not having a good time. Like they're going to be thinking about you because
Exactly.
you're already drained and you look like you're not having a good time. Second, you're sacrificing your own energy and exhausting yourself trying to please others when you don't
Mm.
even want to be there. But
People
if you
pleasing.
can't leave, then just like the first person said, go find a pet, go into a different room, go to a different space, take a breather, take some time for yourself and come back, and then maybe you'll feel less like strained.
Exhausted. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know.
No, I agree. Yeah, just take moments. Like even I had written this down, but like yeah, if you're feeling stressed and you're in a setting where there's a lot of people and you want to kind of get away, just like go to the bathroom, go
Yeah.
in your room alone for a couple like 10 minutes, whatever you need to do. Just excuse yourself,
Mhm.
just to like reorient yourself. If you're in a room but you're just exhausted to actually socialize, you can let other people, to kind of what Kathy said, like, well, not in silence, but you let other people talk and you kind of just listen. So
Mhm.
you don't have to necessarily like you participate, but by listening.
Yes.
But by not, you don't have to talk constantly.
Yeah,
And that's fine, I think. Like
but like actually
I
look
do that.
interested.
Yeah, like still like you're participating, but just not vocally. Like
Yeah,
you don't have to say
verbally.
anything
Yeah,
necessarily.
no, makes
But
sense.
yeah, but I feel like that dived in perfectly because you went into your point about like if
Hmm.
you're feeling drained. around people or just like take a break. So one tip though, for like if you're more introverted and you know you're going to hang out with a lot of people or you have an event coming up, try to like know what to expect in advance. So you're not going to know exactly what's going to happen, but you know, if you know what type of people are going there and if you know what you like and dislike in those people, just try to like kind of plan out the night, if that makes sense.
Mentally prepare yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I had read that somewhere and I thought it was like interesting. So you just kind of like expect it. So that way when you're there, you're not just like shocked, like, oh my God, why am I? You just kind of mentally, you're like, okay, this is going to be like a big night and it's probably going to make me feel exhausted socially. Yeah. But this is how I can kind of like go through the night or just like compose myself. I don't know. You know what I mean? But the reason why I read that introverts may feel drained being with people is because, about the internal energy, because of the amount of internal energy that's being used to like maintain their boundaries, their emotional stability, like then constant like mental processes. So just like even like hearing noise and sounds can just be like triggering and exhausting. And I kind of feel that like sometimes when I'm like have too much sound around me, I'm like,
if it's so noisy, I'm like, God, I don't want to be here.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. So I think that's why like they feel overly drained when they're around a lot of people. But okay, I think that was my last point. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. I like when we have more to say.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it was a very interesting. I didn't realize that there was such a difference between, because you see a lot of stuff. It's hard to find like, okay, so you find a lot of things on how to recharge your battery if you're an introvert, and like recharging sounds like your social battery. It sounds like, oh, you would just take a time away, but then it's different for like different types of people. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have realized unless you brought it up, but it's kind of tricky because yes, extroverts do like socializing, but like you said, it depends the situation you're in, the people that you're around, and sometimes you do need a break from people. So it's good that we had different types of ways to recharge a social battery. And
I think, while you mentioned that, I was gonna say, like Kathy said, because if you're an extrovert and like it also matters what type of people, you can even just go to like an event with a lot of people alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you go to like a festival and you buy a ticket, like there's gonna be like that atmosphere of like, you know, everyone's having fun. So I feel like you can still get energized, but maybe it'll be more intimidating depending on if you've done that before. But
yeah, for sure. Okay, well, this was a good episode. I really like the tips we gave. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, follow us on all the podcast platforms. So we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else. I don't know the other ones.
Pretty much.
But follow us on Instagram at Wild Thoughts Pod. Follow us individually. We'll leave everything linked down below. And let us know your favorite way to recharge your social batteries. So if you're on Spotify, there's going to be a question that you can leave an answer, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. We'll see. But if you're on Spotify, scroll down on the episode and answer the question that we're putting out. And I think that's it. So we'll see you in the next one. The next one's the final episode. So
season
of the season. Yeah. Woo! And it's gonna be a good one because it's Afi's birthday.
Oh my God.
It's coming out on your birthday.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Yeah. So get ready for that.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, because it's gonna air on a Wednesday.
Exactly. Which is your birthday.
Oh my God.
Miss Aquarius.
Oh shit. Aquarius here. Libra in the house and Aquarius.
Oh my God. Okay. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.